Welcome everyone! Time for another sewing tutorial. Today I'll show you how you make your jacket lapel ready for a boutonnière. But first, dramatic intro. So a boutonnière is a nice touch for your outfit for special occasions, like a wedding for example, or maybe you want to use a boutonnière as your signature move, like Prince Bernhard of the Netherlands here. In any case, to make your lapel boutonnière ready, you need an unstitcher or seam ripper, you need a needle and thread. I highly recommend using extra strong thread. So there are two steps. The first thing is, since most modern jackets that are not bespoke just have a fake buttonhole, you need to open this buttonhole. So you have this buttonhole stitching here, but it's not actually a hole, or just the end of this keyhole shape thing is open. I highly recommend using the unstitcher or seam ripper because you really don't want to damage this buttonhole stitching. Put it in and again be very careful, don't damage the stitching and just open it. Step 2 is subscribing to my YouTube channel. No, seriously, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. That's it. This is basically step 1. What you can do is like looking if there are any loose threads coming out of the stitching. Again, be very careful. Do not damage the buttonhole stitching. Just get rid of the loose threads. So step 2 is adding some kind of bridge to the backside of your lapel to secure the flower you want to put inside your buttonhole. So this is the backside. You really want to put it, well, about an inch below the buttonhole and parallel to it. So I'm using my thumb as a measure and this tailless chalk to mark the position. That's basically where we want our bridge for the boutonnière. So what you do now is, again being very careful, you put the needle in, but just the first layer of fabric. You don't put it all the way through a lapel, no needle here, just the first layer, and you go up. A bit too far away. Just the first layer, then you go up at the one end where you want your boutonnière bridge. I'm just calling it this now. Pull on the thread until it disappears here. Then you fasten the stitch here, like 3 times. Again, just poke through the first layer of fabric, not through the whole lapel. Otherwise, you will see your thread here, and you don't want that. Now I'm going to the opposite side, to the other end of the boutonnière bridge. Poke the needle in, just the first layer of fabric. Once, twice, 3 times. So, what I do now is I'm going under the thread I just put here from one side to the other side of the boutonnière bridge. And basically I'm wrapping the thread around the bridge. And as you might see here, this is the part where I wrapped the thread around the bridge, and this is the part that still has to be wrapped. So a few more times. One more time through the first layer of fabric. And then again to the opposite side, wrapping. Now I'm again at the end of the bridge. I'm poking the thread through the first layer of fabric. One more time. And another one. And then to wrap up the stitching, I'm putting the needle in there, close to the end of my bridge, just through the first layer of fabric. So there's no thread here still. I'm putting the needle in, and a few inches away I'm putting the needle out of the fabric. Okay, so the bridge here is very clean, and you just have the thread here. You take your pair of scissors. So here's the bridge. Here's the bridge. Here's the thread coming out, and I just cut it loose here. You can, well, move the layers of fabric around, and you don't see any stitching. Well, and that's it. What you can do now is taking your flower. This is an artificial one, an artificial Edelweiss, because picking Edelweiss in Germany is forbidden. So I guess it's a legitimate way of using an Edelweiss. You put it through your buttonhole, which is now a real buttonhole because you opened it, and then on the opposite side you put it under this thread bridge, so it can't move to the side, and you won't see this, well, to be honest, the ugly stem, or what's it called here. You don't see it, and it can't move to the side. Well, and that's basically it. So this is how it looks finished. I highly recommend, when you're using a boutonnière, don't use pocket squares that are this fancy. I really love this one. It's from Ramplay, by the way. Very, very fancy. But it's too much with the boutonnière. So I really love the fancy one, but I recommend using a linen or cotton pocket square with a presidential fold, like this. This is fine. The other alternative is using a silk one and just putting it in. But again, it needs to be more subtle. So I recommend solid colors. White is a good option, especially when your boutonnière is white and your shirt is white. Well, yeah, and that's it. This, by the way, is a fabulous tie made of Fox Brothers flannel from a good friend of mine, Steffen Ingwersen, and his brand Vecchio Asiatico from Hamburg. And this waistcoat here is another item from Simon James Cathcart. Well, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, and see you soon.